Hey, Pat.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing well. You excited?
Yeah, this
All
will
right.
be different.
You ready?
You look good. Did you
Thank
take
you.
your hair?
Um, I just didn't. I like big body. I like big body curls,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
too long for the big body curls.
I love it.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, it's oh,
I'm gonna take it.
love it.
I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I'm gonna take the compliment. So I was I set today for all of the Zoom calls that I'm gonna do,
Yeah.
and I sent out a list like you sent that. And then I got on another list and I was asking questions off the other list and I was taking I took one of them by surprise. I was like, oh my God. Thank God she just followed along with me and she could answer the questions because that's the purpose of sending them in advance. You know,
Hmm.
a time give you a chance to think of. So it went well though. Like
Okay.
I thought I missed it real bad, but she caught on and then and we can edit. I can edit all of
Oh,
this.
okay. That'll be
So
good.
if you make an error or something or say something that you don't want in there, let me know.
All right.
Well,
Sure.
I mean, definitely I'm going to listen to it as I'm editing it and I'm like this don't fit. I don't think she was meaning to say that. I can hear that.
Okay.
I try to keep the ums down. I'm a person.
Yeah. We all do that. Yeah.
I am definitely an person. So I be so mad at myself when I'm see
Right.
when I'm editing, I get so mad at me. I'm the one messing up the whole podcast. So anyway, we can go ahead and get started if you're ready. You have your questions in front of you?
I kind of do. Yeah. They're on the screen, so I might read them there.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the introduction. Good afternoon, and thank you for participating in another episode of Dubai's Daughter. We have the absolute pleasure of speaking with Miss Pat Creedon of Pat Creedon Design. Would you like to introduce yourself, Patricia?
Sure. I'm Pat Creedon of Pat Creedon Design. I'm based in New Canaan, Connecticut, and what I do is corporate branding and graphic design for established businesses and entrepreneurs. And what that means is basically doing their graphic design needs, filling their needs for web design or business cards, stationery, or brochures, or any of those items that any business could use.
Great, great. So we have an icebreaker.
Okay.
You got the question right.
Yeah.
Good. So can you tell me about a time um, in business etiquette, whether you either lost a job because of it or you gained a job because of good business etiquette? Do you have any stories like that?
Well, I don't know specifically losing or gaining a job because of particularly business etiquette, but I will say that when I was interviewing for jobs, I didn't really know the importance of thank you notes after an interview. So I often would be in the interview and I wouldn't get the information I needed, like their business cards, so that after the interview I'd know where to send a note. And they say you really should write a handwritten note. So I wouldn't do that. And I think it's kind of considered an important thing because, say, for instance, if there were two equally qualified people for the job, it might have made the difference between whether I got the job or not.
That's exactly right. That actually happened to my mentor.
Oh,
He's
really?
the exact same thing. He did not. He interviewed, and it was a few weeks he hadn't heard anything, and so he asked the supervisor. So they knew that he was going somewhere else, or it was in house or something like that. And he was told, well, they didn't think you were serious because you didn't send a thank you note.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. I immediately apologized to him. I was like, I'm sorry you didn't get the job. He said, oh, no, 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 no. I wrote that thank you note that day. So that was good. So he actually got the job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very important, and it's a little personal touch.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
And I remember that being a big thing back in the 80s.
Hmm.
I don't know if it, I mean, I know that it's important, but I don't know how people are really feeling about that now. You know?
I've heard that it's still pretty important to write that handwritten note.
Yeah. And I agree with you. The difference in um, getting the job or not. It could be two similar qualifications or qualified. Uh,
Hmm.
one says a thank you note, and they said, well, you know what? She took the extra mile.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yes. I like
Hmm.
that answer. Very good. So that's not a, you haven't missed a job because of business etiquette or even gained it because of your professionalism or your mannerisms. You haven't either one of those, right?
I don't know if that was specifically due to that. Do you know what I mean? Uh,
Mhm.
a lot of my jobs seem to be referrals from people, so I already had kind of an in, and that helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So, what are you doing career wise now? I mean, we know, what Pat Creedon design is, but can you break it down a little bit more for us?
Oh, sure. Well, uh, when I started out, I didn't know what I was going to be doing in life, and so I ended up in graphic design sort of accidentally, and I love it. It's a unique area that a lot of people may not really understand. I was working with various little papers and things early on, and that helped me to understand the process of graphic design. So I mostly learned it on the job over
That's
the years.
I heard someone call it God, what did she call it? It was a different name back in the 80s before it went to graphic designs. It was something she was telling me how they had to do everything by hand on this uh, black base, and you use the cayenne and uh, yellow and all the other colors. It's four colors. I forget what they're.
Okay. Yeah, I remember those days.
You were so good. So it's something like that. And I was like, you know what? She said she didn't think she was going to make it through it because it was tedious, and she didn't have the patience for it. Is what she said. She didn't have the patience. But the last year of college, it changed to graphic design. So
Mhm.
so everything's on the computer. She didn't have to use the I don't know what the little measuring things are, but she didn't have to use any of that trying to figure out the numbers and all that. It was just so interesting. And so if you remember what I'm talking about, then you've been doing graphic design a long time, right?
Yes, yes,
Just not
very
that
long.
that's so interesting to me. So um, I see here that you started your business in when 2010 or 2017.
Well, I began it in 2010 after leaving a job in promotion, marketing, and advertising. And I decided to start my own business helping people, smaller businesses, with the same sort of thing I was doing at that job.
Hmm.
And at first, I was freelancing at different companies doing the same sort of thing. And one of the companies really liked my work and they hired me. That was a corporate job. And I kept that for 5 years and really enjoyed it, learned a lot. But then they had layoffs at their headquarters where I was working. So I decided, and that was in 2017. So that's when I decided to really go full on with just serving my clients, not freelancing at companies anymore.
You know, sometimes it's good to get laid off. It's never good to lose a job because that's the income coming in, right? But sometimes you have to, or things happen, or something has to happen in order for you to become you,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
for you to become Pat Creedon Design. So
Yes,
it had to happen.
it really helped actually.
Did you
So I didn't really regret it that much at all.
regret it
Now.
now?
I don't regret it at all now.
But let me ask you, this is not on our list, but how is business for you? Through the pandemic and everything. How's business?
It's been growing. You know what? I was working remotely anyway, and I have customers and clients all over the country. So I didn't really need to change anything for the pandemic. I still work from home.
How exciting.
Yeah.
It's good because although these bigger companies are having to do layoffs,
Yes.
people are having to start over, or being unemployed, you know, you're still going.
Yes.
I
That's
like
right. Yeah.
that. And I spoke with someone else, and they said, sometimes it's just it just halts you for a moment so that you can think.
That's right.
Yeah, remember your creative ideas you had when you were younger?
Hmm.
Yeah. And you can start a business from that through this pandemic. It's happening quite often.
I think so. I think a lot of people are thinking about having their own businesses now.
Yeah. So it's just that little pause right there. And we know that, the pandemic is awful. It
Mm.
is.
Oh,
It,
yeah.
the social issues that we're having, that's awful. Um, the whole government, all of that stuff. That is very, very bad. This is not a good time in so many different ways, but it's a great time in a lot of ways too, because you're able to pause and think, you're able to regroup.
That's right. There are some benefits.
Yeah, there are.
That's true. Thankfully.
I've taken advantage of it.
I know. Right?
Dubai's daughter. So I've taken advantage of it. Yeah.
Oh, you started that during the pandemic
I
then.
started in July
July. Wow.
last year. So, yeah, it's bad. I don't want to go anywhere,
I don't blame you.
But, now that everything is, the country is kind of at a standstill. Zoom is so important to a lot of people because we're social creatures. I love meeting and talking to people on Zoom.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it would be face to face. I don't meet a stranger. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we've been so lucky that this technology was available when this happened, so that
right?
we could do this so easily. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Zoom came up, Amazon came up.
I know. Yeah, we're all set.
Yeah, because I'm using both of them. So in high school, Pat, did you know what you wanted to do?
I thought that I was going to be an artist and paint pictures for a living, get married, have kids, the whole thing. I got married. We didn't have kids, but we did. I found that I was married to an artist, and it's not easy making a living doing art. So what I found was, since I had these various jobs doing design, that maybe I would just do that because I really like that better anyway.
It's
So
good.
that worked out.
Yeah, it did. So
Yeah.
your husband's an artist? Like,
Yes, I used to draw pictures from the time I was like 4 years old. So I knew I wanted to be an artist or do something art related in my life.
so how is
So,
he doing? I, you
oh,
know,
my husband, he has a ton of art and he's always doing more. So we have to find ways to sell it.
have to find a way to get him to make something for me.
Really?
I
Oh, okay.
love art. I do. I love art. I love pictures. Um, like I have pictures on my wall. I take pictures of my family. I love those. I buy different types of frames and all of that. So I have this huge wall downstairs, just with just family pictures. And then up here in what I call my she shed, my loft. I have the pictures of my daughter's wedding, my husband and I, our wedding, things,
Wow,
things that led up to it. I love looking at things.
that's
And
great.
for me, pictures like that are
Mm.
memories, just still moments. But yeah, so I would love, and we're going to talk about this later. I like a self portrait. Can you do that?
Well, a portrait of you?
Yeah.
He doesn't really do that. He does landscapes and still lifes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice.
yeah, they're beautiful. I'll have to send you a link to his website.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be
Yes.
great. So we're gonna get back to Dubai's daughter, but yeah, I mean, this is Pat Creedon design. So if Pat Creedon is designing something, her husband has got to be just as awesome as you are.
I think so.
That's what I think too. We're just going to include him in there for just a minute.
Okay.
So another question we have is, did you intern anywhere in high school?
No, I didn't, but I did do summer jobs that helped me to understand the process of design. I worked at a place called the Penny Saver.
The little magazine?
Yeah, that little magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd paste up the ads for all the different issues and work long hours. And
That's a huge thing, Pat. The penny savers everywhere.
really, oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I
Hmm.
know it's here. You're in Connecticut.
Yes, that's right.
First of all, Dubai's daughter land. Homegirl. Okay. Just homegirl. You're in you're in New Haven or Norwalk.
New Canaan, which is next to Norwalk. Yeah,
Okay.
very close.
So I was born in Bridgeport.
Okay.
Two of my brothers and I were born in Bridgeport. My baby brother, which is, clearly he's not a baby anymore, he was born in Norwalk.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the things that initially attracted me to you before I even talked to you is, oh my God, homegirl. That's all I could think. And then when I got to talk to you, to meet you, it just made it even better. So,
Perfect.
just so
And
you know.
same here.
I know I get off topic a little bit, but it's a conversation, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So we're not just talking about just streamlined. No, this is a conversation, and we have our audience should hear reflections. They should hear different things, and that's what I'm trying to make sure we bring out, right?
Yes.
So in high school, you didn't intern. Some people did, some people don't, right?
Mm, that's right.
Some people get paid, some people don't. But you decided not to intern for whatever reason, but you took the summer jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the experience and exposure
Mm,
and pay. Yeah, that's three things in one.
I know. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that was a good deal. So you learned something and you got paid. I
Yeah.
like it. So how do you think company culture right now is impacting business etiquette? You think it's a thing?
Well, I think that it is an important part of company culture. I will say that that promotion agency that I used to work for, that had etiquette, but it was very relaxed. The people there can wear jeans, even flip-flops to work.
Wow.
And yeah, really. And swearing was not only tolerated, but routinely heard from the boss and everyone else.
No.
But then later at that corporate job, the culture was really different. They had a very strict dress code, no jeans unless it was like file day, where we'd go in and clean out files all day and have no business meetings. And even swearing was rarely heard, though it wasn't specifically banned. And I actually kind of like that change.
I love that change too. Now, was it
Yeah.
because of change in management?
Well, it was a totally different company. It was a more corporate worldwide company, whereas the other place was a small ad agency.
Oh, okay, two different companies.
Yes,
I don't like the flip flops. I don't care how casual it is. I don't like that.
I know. I couldn't believe it, but it was, yeah, it was common in the summer.
Yeah, it's like you're just looking for a lawsuit. You're waiting on.
Yeah, I know, really.
Right? What if something
Mhm.
dropped on somebody's foot?
Really. And it could happen.
It
We
could
work with
happen.
some sharp knives and things and
That's something else right there. Yeah.
yeah.
So do not wear flip flops, y'all. I don't care what the company allows you to do, and it's just like super comfortable. It's not a professional look. It doesn't matter what type of work you're doing. I mean, if you're out on the beach working lifeguard, something like that, put your flip flops on. That's fine. Inside a building, working with people, that's not that's not how you dress.
Nope.
I've worked at companies before. This company, specific company, they rolled out a new dress code. Right, no open toe shoes. You have to wear hose. For the women. You know
Okay.
what they did for the men, I can't really recall, but I know that was a thing for us.
Hmm.
And the women were still coming in there with open toe shoes on. I love open toe shoes because I love getting my nails.
Right.
I don't like pantyhose sometimes because they're uncomfortable. All of that. But dress code said, okay,
Yeah.
whole handbook changed, right? They kept doing it. They were not getting written up. They nothing. There were no repercussions for not following the guidelines. So guess what happened?
What happened?
Main office came down and fired the human resources director.
Really?
She
Interesting.
was not implementing. She was, none of it.
Hmm.
I thought that was fair. I mean, I liked her, but I still
Right.
thought it was fair. Your job is to make sure the handbook is followed. That's why you have this handbook.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Very interesting. Wow.
it is. It is. So you have to be on your P's and Q's, especially if you're in that type of field, or you're in corporate. You're the head of a team. Do what you. That was funny to me. And it really happened. So yeah, that's that. So um, company culture can mean so many different things. And and since the summer is when a lot of companies have started to kind of incorporate culture into their business because of the social issues. The police brutality, the 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 lives that were lost,
Oh,
you know,
sure. Yeah.
because of that, and it wasn't just our country; it was the world, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
the whole world was protesting and all of that. And I don't talk politics and I don't talk racial. I don't do all of that.
Right.
However, it it came to my attention that companies were now trying to incorporate this, like get comfortable being uncomfortable, you know, or having uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
That became a thing, right?
Hmm.
I don't know how long it's going to last, but if you're trying to incorporate culture into the workplace, yeah, you have to get uncomfortable, right? You have to talk about some things that you have to reflect on yourself, and it's not just black or white,
Hmm.
blacks and whites,
Yes.
other people of color. Everybody needs to reflect. They need to think about situations, how
Yeah.
they're supposed to handle those, all of that. And I know our podcast is about business etiquette.
Hmm.
That's business etiquette.
That's true.
That's a part of it. So if you were so in high school, I mean, sorry, in college.
Right.
In college, I graduated like when I was 51. I went back to school.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
It is, thank you. Um, what happened, I had this international business class,
Hmm.
you know, and um, so I got to choose what country I wanted to do. Everybody had to choose a country,
Okay.
and talk about how the business is in that country. So there are so many rules and everything in foreign countries.
Hmm.
There's so much etiquette that has to be followed in foreign countries. There's a difference between a woman and a man when dealing with, in business with foreign countries. It's so different from the United States.
Interesting. Yeah.
It was very interesting. I chose Morocco.
Good country.
Yeah, I thought so. My instructor was blown away. He was like, "Why would you choose this? You're not going to be able to find anything, any information. You're not going to be able to do anything." I found it all. I made a perfect 1,000 in that class. That's the highest that's A. So immediately got into honors, into two different
Terrific.
honor societies. But the reason I bring it up is not, it's not to brag. It's not to tell that part of it. The reason I bring it up is because of the culture.
Right.
So in some countries, I'm sorry, in some countries, you have to pretty much uh, date the person you want to do business with. It's not a physical date like we like each other, but you have to be at family functions,
Hmm.
you
Oh,
know,
really? Oh.
like the kids' birthday parties.
Hmm.
And I thought it was like it's manners.
Hmm.
You want to do business with me? Let me see what type of person you are. Let me see how you act in this atmosphere. And that's, over in any other foreign country, you have to do so many different things. You have to, the way you shake hands is very important. Here in the United States, we shake hands. Some people don't know how to shake hands, first of all. They don't realize you're even supposed to extend your hand first or let someone else extend their hand. They don't know how tight to do it, how loose to do it. They don't know these things. That's business etiquette, though.
Hmm.
How to do a handshake. They don't know about eye contact.
Yeah.
All of these things are very important in foreign countries. They're important here too, but we stopped it.
Hmm.
Everybody is not doing it. In foreign countries, or at least in the country that I did, everybody's doing it.
Hmm.
Here, we can we let some things go. You're supposed to, and I heard this one really got me. If you're sharing a cab with the person that you're doing business with, who goes in the cab first?
Really?
It threw me off like, why do I need to know that? Well, you let the person, no, you go in first, and the person that you want to do business with gets in last. The only reason is because when they want to get out, they're not sitting behind the driver. That's an uncomfortable position
Hmm.
in the car. So they're free. The front of them is free. And then when they get ready to get out of the car, they can just get out. Yeah. It caught me off guard. It's like the more I um, do devise daughter and do business etiquette, the more I find I don't know.
There's so much to learn about it.
It is so much to learn. Now we know I know the basics. I always knew the basics,
Hmm.
but it's so much more. I cannot wait to get started with our participants, the 15 through 17-year-old girls, and teach them these things going into the corporate world.
Yeah.
So not only are you doing well in school, but You have the business etiquette, which is just manners. It's just like basic business manners, right?
Right.
We're also doing the second program, which is business administration. So it would go business administration. This is how you do this, right?
Hmm.
Here's the bottom line programs that you need to learn.
Yeah.
Etiquette is only going to make you stand out. Not only are you doing your work, but you're being nice and professional.
Hmm.
So at that young age, can you imagine how much further we would have gotten at our age had we known some of this stuff?
I know, and they don't really teach it in school,
I
so
know. Mm-mm. So
be
my
really
daughter
helpful.
is not. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This will be really helpful to so many people, what you're doing.
Yeah, I thank you. I do. I really believe it, and I really, really, I love kids and I love manners. I like to be called yes, ma'am. I like the ma'ams, and it doesn't matter that I'm. It doesn't matter what age I am. If you are along with my daughter or even my nieces who's older than my daughter, I'm a ma'am to you.
Hmm.
It goes a great smile and good manners go a long, long way, right?
Definitely.
Yes. And if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Hmm.
Goes a long way.
Yes, and showing up on time, also important.
Oh, my son-in-law said, if you're early, you're
Hmm.
if you if you are on time, if you come to work on time, you're late. If you come to work late, you've never been there at all. I said, wow. He told it to me one time, and it's mind blowing because it's the truth. If
Hmm.
you have to be at work at 7 o'clock, by 7 o'clock, you should be, especially if you're on the computer or anything, you should be logged in, ready to take your first call or place your first call or whatever it is you need to do. So that
Yeah.
means you need to be early, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I did it always. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't, Pat, they
Hmm.
they are compulsive. Uh, how do you call it? So they're compulsively late.
Yes, I've run into people like that. It drives me a little nuts.
And I mean, it doesn't only make them look bad, right? But it makes them um, undependable. I can't depend on you. The team can't depend on you. The team has to cover your slack.
Hmm.
So all the morale goes down.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
right?
does. It really affects it.
It really, really does. These are things that we're teaching, or, these are things that we have in place to teach our young ladies. These things are important. They're not just, nobody's just saying it just to be saying it. It is very important.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. Business etiquette is going to make them stand out
Hmm.
so much better. And then, uh, so what we want to do is once they finish our programs, we want to have them intern with women business owners. Okay.
Okay, that sounds great.
Doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
It's a twofold. So for the women business owners who's older, you're a
Right.
CEO, you've made it,
Hmm.
to uh, reach back and pull a young lady forward is a wonderful feeling. It really is. 10 years from now, the young lady said, if it wasn't for Miss Iman or Miss Pat, you know, showing me some things or telling me about this, then I wouldn't know this. So they kids remember everything.
Hmm.
Everything good and bad. They remember it all. But it's a wonderful feeling. And then for the kids or the young ladies to have a woman to show you this can be done. You can do this. You know how I know? I did it. So it's a twofold, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I really do. I think it's like absolutely beautiful. I think it just goes hand in hand. And I had one young lady on a podcast when I asked her about interns. She said no, she didn't intern, but she'd been on different jobs too. And women would come to her and very, very subtly give her something extra to do. And okay, I'm not getting paid for that, right? The immediate thought is, why are you giving me something extra?
Right.
You don't know there is a test, right? I want to give you something extra. Just do this a little something extra because she might want to mentor you, you know,
If you do it with a good attitude,
with
right?
a great attitude.
Hmm.
She could easily be saying, I see something in you.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
I loved it. I love that whole idea because we immediately say, well, I'm not getting paid for that. Why is she bringing me something extra? Not knowing, and I mean, I know I've done it. I know it's happened to me. I know I've missed opportunities because of business etiquette or missed great mentors because why are you giving me something extra? My
Mhm.
attitude back then was awful. I mean, not awful. I have a great attitude, but my attitude about work was okay. So I'm here to do this,
Mhm.
and I mean, if my name goes on it, it is great. I'm not going to put anything out there with my name on it, and it's bad work. I already knew that. I knew that like years ago, but I didn't know that some people could actually be testing you. They notice something great in you. They see potential,
Mhm.
and we just let it go.
I know. Yeah. So you want to be open to those opportunities wherever they come up.
Yeah,
And that's an interesting angle on it, to think that people might be giving you that little extra work just to test you about
yeah.
your attitude and interest in, going forward. I'm reading a book right now where this guy in his first job out of college, he sort of went the extra mile on everything that he did there. And
Hmm.
he was quickly promoted. He really hated his first position. He wasn't really meant to be there. It was like data processing or some such thing.
Hmm.
So he was noticed because he went the extra mile with everything, and formed relationships. And so it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and forming relationships too.
Yes. Yeah. Very important.
Yeah, there's a lot of business etiquette is so big, and I just hate that it's gone down.
Mm.
I really do. I hate that it's gone down, and I also hate some of the opportunities that I know I've missed. I
Hmm.
know, um, but when it came to my daughter, I made sure, you know, like do over.
There you go.
Like I know it's not me, but do over. And I mean, she had wonderful opportunities. She has succeeded. You know what I had planned. What I thought she needed to do. She exceeded the
Wow. Awesome.
expectations, and at such a young age,
Mm,
like masters at 23.
that's awesome.
You know, uh, I just graduated at 51.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like if I knew back then what I know now,
Yeah.
type situation, if I had someone, not saying that my parents weren't in my corner because my parents were always in my corner, but Pat, if you remember, our parents, um, I mean, yeah, they loved education. Education is important, but they weren't sticklers. Like, you know,
Hmm.
homework done, any projects you need to do,
Hmm.
do some extra credit on something, something, anything to make you shine.
Hmm.
It didn't happen in my household. It wasn't like that in my household. I mean, you
I
better
don't
pass.
really remember that either.
You better pass. You better make sure your homework is done. But to check behind us and all that, no.
Yeah. I mean, they would look at my report card, and if I didn't get an A on everything, then I'd hear about it. But
Yeah. So, so here's the thing, right? I know nothing about math. I hate math. That's like the worst subject in the world for me. I can
yeah.
count money, but that's about it. Um, but my daughter's a finance major.
Hmm. Amazing. Where'd she get that?
I don't know. I keep saying I don't know where in the world um she got this from,
That's a
but she got it.
mm,
She got it. But I remember math is getting harder, has gotten so much harder, right? Since we were in school. I remember she was in a class that was past how far I went in math. I hate math. I passed it and I stopped. Like I don't need any more math. But she kept taking things. And matter of fact, she was in junior high school and the math was above me.
hmm.
That's how fast it goes.
Wow.
Started adding letters to it. I said, "What? This is the algebra." When they started adding letters, I was like, "Done. I'm through." I don't know what that letter is. It's an A, but I would fail, right? So I couldn't help her with math. Like I could not physically sit down, and I did it. I helped my daughter with everything. That was one thing I could not do, right? So I said, "Well, how are you doing in math?" And I'm looking at grades and everything. And I remember saying, "Do you need help?" Ask the teacher first thing.
Hmm.
Ask because she's the one teaching it to you, right?
Hmm.
Um, I can get a tutor. I don't have a problem with paying for a tutor. I would do that. And then family members. I have a sister that can count in her head, you know,
Hmm.
come up with the answer. So I have family members that are great at math. I've got a 16-year-old nephew in there that, if you think I'm not telling the truth, unbelievable. I went to his junior high school. I just popped up, right? I'm one of those. I'm the mother and the aunt that just pops up, right? And I did. I popped up because he was having problems in math class. Like his grades were awful. And I got a problem with that, right? I go and I'm sitting down there beside him, the dad in the chair right beside him, right? And the teacher put something up on the board. And I'm writing real fast. I don't know math. I'm writing the equation down real fast, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Right.
He didn't pick up a pencil. I was so mad. I was so mad with him that he didn't pick up a pencil.
Hmm.
And the teacher said, "Okay, what's the answer?" His hand was straight up in the air, and he had the answer right. I looked at him like,
What? Oh, wow. That's
"His
amazing.
head, right?" So the problem that he was having was that he was not showing his work. So they thought he was, cheating.
Hmm.
That wasn't the case. That's not the case. He's a numbers guy. Who knew?
Who knew? That's
Who
amazing.
knew? So everybody has something. Everybody has something, but yeah. So that's something I'll never forget. So I'm just gonna go on. I might cut some of this out. Okay. But
Okay.
so it's supposed to be a conversation. That's why I'm elaborating on things and telling different things. It's a conversation. It's not I'm sitting here and Pat, tell me about this.
Hmm.
About this. I can take that. I can take that. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay. So we're just going to go right on. What's your level of education?
I got a degree from Parsons School of Design and as a Bachelor of Fine Arts in illustration. So when I first went to Parsons, I decided I was going to be some sort of artist, but I wanted it to be more commercial so that I could earn a living. And so I picked illustration. But I was also doing the graphic design in those summer jobs. And so I was learning it on the job. And that's how I segued into doing it as a career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you work in college? On campus? Did you work anywhere, like in the graphics department or something?
I did do that. I actually went to Manhattanville College for a couple of years first, and that was a good experience. I got to live on campus then. And at that point, they had a work study program. So I was able to help with things like the slideshows for the art history classes, things like that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's good.
yeah, it
It's
was.
experience, exposure, and you got your name out there.
That's right. And I was learning at the same time. I learned so much more about art history that way than just taking the classes myself. So,
It hands on, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you do logos and do you? I don't know if you do websites or something like that, but so you
All
do
that.
logos.
Sure.
You do websites,
Yes, we have the capacity for that, of course.
and what else you do for? Okay, so our audience, Pat, is not 15 through 17. That's not who our audience is. Our
Okay.
audience is the parents, uh, counselors,
Mhm.
teachers, guardians, aunts, uncles, grandparents, the ones that know that their child or this student would fit great into this program.
Okay.
I don't make a podcast. I couldn't even imagine making a podcast for 15 through 17-year-olds. They're not interested in what I'm talking about. You know, they're not interested in sitting, listening to this podcast, although they need to. But it's definitely for the adults.
Hmm.
So when I ask, I bring out things, it's because somebody's listening. Somebody's going to pick up on it, the adults. Even if you don't know someone that can participate in our programs, you can still learn something, right? You
Hmm.
can apply it in your job today.
Yes.
So the etiquette part of it, you can definitely apply that. Even the guests that we have on here, because some of the people, some of the listeners are business owners, you know,
Hmm.
startups like I am over here. They need help doing things. So
Hmm.
I always like to get out what exactly can you help with. They need to hear that too. So I'm like pulling it out of you. Pat, tell these people what you can do,
All right.
right? I'm not just here to talk and look pretty over here. Uh, look what I can do. I can do. I can help you with all this, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Uh, and I love doing it. I love working with small business owners or startups who are trying to get their business off the ground. And I help them, strategize what marketing materials they could use, whether it's a car magnet because they drive around a lot, or whether it's a folder that they hand out, or whether it's a website just so that they can be there digitally for everybody they need. I do a lot of logo design because everybody pretty much needs that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's
And
it's
then it's a Pat Creedon original,
yes.
you know, and that's true. Everybody doesn't have the same logo, but there are a lot of similar logos, right?
Mhm.
So if I was to send you something and say, look, I need my logo to reflect, and that's how it should be, reflect what I'm doing. But I do want Dubai's daughter in there. that is something that I would expect you to be able to do. It's an original. Nobody else is going to have this.
That's what a logo should be. Definitely original and should reflect exactly what your business is
So,
and appeal to your particular clientele.
yes, I'm
So I'm
getting
going to do
you.
that, yeah. And if you go to my website, you can find examples of how I've helped other businesses that way.
Yes, and her website, Dubai Daughter Land, is pmcreedon.com.
No,
No,
it's patcreedondesign.com.
ah, see, I was wrong,
That's okay.
but I have it pulled up, which is so crazy. It is so crazy because I'm looking at PM Creedon, and what that is just your kind of email address, sort of, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right. So let me put it in there right. I'm going to take this out, but I want you to know because Pat, there it is. This is not just um, for you to talk about business etiquette. This is to get you out there. You know, this is my part to you.
I
You
appreciate that.
being a great thank you. I mean, you're welcome. You being a guest for me is beautiful, and I appreciate it. So what I do for you is let you talk about your company. You know what you're doing. Help you get some more clients. That's what I can do. So
Okay.
if I have to pull some stuff, I'm gonna pull it out of you so somebody can listen and say, "Oh, yeah, I've been looking for that." That's why I said in original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna edit this out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So have you noticed business etiquette lacking? I mean, I know we talked about the flip flops.
Mm-hmm.
Lacking
Yeah.
in companies today.
Well, I haven't been in a lot of companies for a long time, but I do feel in my case I have to be very uh, conscious of business etiquette when dealing with my clients. And I work with a lot of clients who are in very corporate businesses, financial businesses, wealth management firms, things like that. And so I assume that their business etiquette is at a pretty high level. And so I have to be very cautious never to bring up anything political or anything that would, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, rub them the wrong way, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
yeah. So what about like even though you're not going into a company, like nobody's going to a company now. On Zoom calls, are you noticing a difference? Because I know we can be a little bit lax
Mm,
on Zoom calls. I've heard just today
right.
um, that someone was eating on a Zoom call. That's a
Mm.
big no-no.
Yeah, any business related Zoom calls, you don't want to be eating. Yeah.
With
I don't
all your
have
food showing in your mouth, though.
right. I don't have a problem with people sipping tea or coffee on a Zoom call, but if you're actually shoving stuff in your mouth,
Yeah,
it's probably not a good look.
it's not a good look. It's kind of disrespectful, you
Yes.
know. So so if I'm hungry,
Hmm.
and my husband actually has brought me food up here on a big
Oh,
tray.
that's nice.
It's very nice. It got cold.
Oh,
No, I can't eat it on the Zoom call.
hmm.
It got cold. I was fine with that. Microwave, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, so there are certain things You can do and you cannot do. And I think since we are in this virtual land, some people take advantage of it. Like I heard right here that was a little bit one-sided. Women are supposed to keep their cameras on during a Zoom call.
Just women.
Just women.
Hmm.
One-sided is sexist. What? You, why just us? Like it's an actual article out there, and I put it on my I think I put it on my LinkedIn page and my Facebook page. There's an article, and it's like a big X, like a don't do this.
Right.
Women are supposed to keep their cameras on.
Hmm.
I know. What do you want? You want to know what we look like? You know, the early morning Zoom calls are the rollers out of her head. What do you want to know?
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
how does
Okay.
she really look without makeup? What?
Yeah.
That was funny to me. I mean, it makes sense, but why not everybody?
I know. Why not everybody?
Yeah,
Hmm.
because my husband works from home and he does Zoom calls, company meetings, and all of that. He never turns his screen on.
Really?
And he
Never.
does the most talking.
Really? Hmm. Well, it's nicer when people do, I believe.
It's nice. It's nicer. Yes, it is. So sitting here, if we're on a Zoom call and I just see this big, you know, line across the screen, but a picture or
Mhm.
just your name,
Right.
it's like talking to yourself,
It feels like it sometimes. Yeah.
right? So I think it is very important. And ladies, I know, why do they want us to keep our camera on versus, the men? But just keep your camera on. Fix yourself up the best that you can and go on by it. It's from the shoulders up.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, nobody knows what the rest of it looks like. But if that's the etiquette that they need, just give it to them. Just stay professional.
Yes.
However you choose to do it, stay in a professional capacity. Although this is a virtual land right now, we
Hmm.
still need to do that. Right?
Yes. It's really important.
Yes.
Yes.
It was great talking to you.
Yeah. Great talking to you also. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, my last final question is: do you have any advice, questions uh, for Dubai's daughter?
Well, just that I believe that what you're doing is going to be very helpful and that I wish I'd had it back when I was young because if I'd really thought through some of these issues of business etiquette before I tried getting jobs, I think I would have gone further faster in
Yeah,
my career.
that's true, right?
Yeah.
That's true. And that's what we're trying to do for our participants. We're trying to educate them just on these two aspects of life. Like there's so many. I don't know how many nonprofits there are for children up in Connecticut, but in North Carolina and Charlotte alone, there are a lot, and there are a lot that are women founders, founded by women.
Mm.
There are a lot that helps just girls. There's a lot that's geared toward African American girls, different age girls, handicapped, um, foster care. What was the other one? Sex trafficking. You
Hmm.
know, there's so many nonprofits here. I feel like our girls should just be blanketed. I
Hmm.
really feel like they should just be covered from one side to the other. Okay.
Hmm.
What Dubai's daughter wants to do is give you that extra edge,
Yes.
you
Hmm.
know? And I mean, there's mental health, there's all types of nonprofits, but there needs to be,
Hmm.
especially right now. There's so much going on right now. So our girls are covered. So this is what we have. This is what we're good at, and and we're doing it. It's just out there. We're ready. So
Okay, go for it.
yes, it was a pleasure talking to you, Patricia. So again, her website is
Pat Creedon Design.
dot .com.
Mm-hmm.
Go on her website, guys. If you need some help, and reach out to her. And I know I've been on the website. I know that she's great at what she does. I'm going to be working with her. So, and it doesn't matter that she's in Connecticut and we're here in North Carolina because we're in virtual land, email all the time, right?
That's right.
We
Not a
can do
problem.
that. All
Yeah.
right. So please check out our website as well, uh, devisedaughter.org. And we certainly hope you take time to listen to the podcast, get some information, some great information that Patricia has shown. Patricia has told us this afternoon. And if you know any young ladies that would fit perfectly in our program, please reach out to us at info@devisedaughter.org. Thanks, Patricia. We'll speak soon.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye.